Welcome back. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Mid Media. Today we're going to be talking about a movie that's not good, but allow me to explain the movie. I'd hate to give you the impression that this movie is bad before I've explained to you how bad it is. First, we need to introduce the movie. The movie that I will be talking about in this episode is Devilman, based on the manga series that I've heard about. Can't say I'm a fan because I never read it, nor have I watched the anime. And if either are at all similar to some of the things that happen in this movie, I don't think I'll be interested in finding out anything about this series. But now let's get into the movie. So first thing I want to point out is the fact that this movie was produced by Toei. And I used to think that Toei meant that the movie was going to be good. Now I don't think so. Now I know that that symbol right there is not to be trusted. Do not think that just because you see it means that you're about to come in and see a good movie. No. They can lie, they can deceive you. So anyways, the movie starts up with being introduced to the child versions of our main character. This is that being Akira and his friend Rio. And they're just talking about monsters, and then they move on to high school, where we see that Akira is a little bit of a fucking loser. He's not good at anything. He has friends, but not very many, and gets bullied. Unlike his friend Rio, who is a badass and gets in fights and is rich and is cool and everything. And what does Akira have other than all his friends? His parents are dead. Akira is adopted by his childhood friend Miko's family, making them brother and sister. And his, sister, he's got an interesting relationship with his sister, but we'll get into that. So anyways, he goes to school, and it's at school that he's getting bullied by some dudes. These guys want Akira to get Rio to come to them so that way they can beat up Rio, which at that point, just go find Rio and beat him up. But anyways, a guy with braids, I don't know his name, he comes in and he tells him to stop, because when he used to bully Akira, Rio showed up and tried to cut his fingers off. So we now know that Rio is a completely normal person. Right after this, we see Miko, Akira's sister, help out a girl named Miki from being bullied by other people. After that, we see Akira is in class, and Rio comes into the classroom and asks Akira how he got the cuts and bruises all over his face. And after telling Rio that it was nothing, Rio tells him that his dad's dead. And after school, they get into Rio's fucking awesome convertible car, where Rio gives Akira a fucking VR headset, which has a message from Rio's father telling him that demons are escaping from the earth, and basically everything's doomed. So Akira and Rio head to Rio's father's laboratory, where these demons are coming out of. It's there that Rio explains that he's become infected by a demon and is becoming a demon himself, and that the only way he'll be able to stop it is by Akira killing him. But Akira refuses and doesn't want to kill his friend. I mean, kind of makes sense, except for the fact that I don't think your friend would do the same. He's a fucking psychopath. And immediately after rejecting the offer to kill his best friend, a spectral sperm flies into Akira, turning him into Devilman. And not even 5 seconds of him being Devilman, a demon arrives to fight him, and he kills it in just as much time as that thing arrived. Just immediately, just kills it. It is revealed that Rio has also transformed into almost an angel-like figure, which this is going to be the last time we see him like this. So I hope you liked it. But this scene overall really does show us the extent of what we're going to be seeing. That being CGI fights that do not look good. So that's what we're going to get for the rest of the movie. So hope you like it. So Akira passes out and wakes up in his own house with different clothes on. Don't know how that happened. But when he comes downstairs, his parents reveal that they've gotten him a gift for his birthday that I didn't mention. That being a new motorcycle. It is also during this time where it is revealed that there is a stalker who lives across the street who has a keen eye on Miko. But now with powers and having a badass motorcycle, he rides to school where he is told by Guy with Braids that Rio is being beat up by the same bullies who were picking on him yesterday. So he shows up and kicks their ass, and Rio leaves without saying a word. Cool, I thought you guys were friends. But obviously this is to show us that Akira is now a different person. He's not some loser who gets beat up. He's a fucking badass who wears leather jackets and leather pants and rides on a motorcycle to school and beats up the people who he wasn't able to beat up before. But after this, we kind of just jump to after school, where Akira and the Guy with Braids are hanging out near the water. And Guy with Braids is painting pictures, because I guess that's his hobby. I wouldn't know. This is the first time I'm seeing it, and well, this is the last time we see it too. So I don't know if this is a hobby or if it's just a one-time thing, but yeah, he's doing that. And during that, he's telling Akira that Rio is not a good guy. As if we don't already have proof of that by literally Rio trying to cut off his fingers. Now, Akira takes this information that Rio is not a good guy and is pretty evil. Something that, by the way, he's been told multiple times throughout this movie already, and every time he never responds. He doesn't even stick up for somebody who's apparently his best friend, and everyone just keeps calling him an asshole or whatever name. Like, he never sticks up for him or says anything on the contrary. He just never really comments about it, which is interesting. I thought this guy was supposed to be your friend. It's almost like you know he's an asshole and you just don't care. Or maybe he just likes having toxic people around him. Yeah, also during this scene, it's kind of made out to be that Akira and the Guy with Braids are like our best buds or something like that. But this is the only time we see them hang out. We will not see them hang out again. But anyways, Akira goes home, and at home he sees an angel appear on his balcony. This angel then takes him back to the laboratory where they have a fight that Akira loses and is bleeding out and is basically gonna die right then and there. Cool. He just got these powers and he's about to die. But Rio shows up and then we fade to black. What happened? Who knows? I will tell you this though, that angel girl just disappears. We never see her again. So she's been introduced just to disappear. We never hear that she dies. We never hear that anything really happened to her other than the fact that she just doesn't exist anymore, I guess. Like, she just disappears from the movie completely. Is she still alive? Is she dead? Did Rio do anything to her? We don't know. I don't think it really matters. Now, of course, it matters in the sense of like continuity and having things make sense. Like, you can't just introduce a character that just beat the shit out of the main character and then just remove them from the movie, as if we're not going to ask questions about who was that person, what happened, and when are they going to show up again, so that way Akira can get the revenge. But we won't be getting that. So anyways, when Akira wakes up, he and Rio are in some place, I don't know, but it's there that Akira and Rio are talking about the responsibility about having these powers, where Akira vows to protect humanity with his powers. We'll see how well that goes. But then we cut the Guy with Braids in the middle of the city, who gets captured by a demon. We then cut back to Akira, who is hearing Guy with Braids yelling for help. I don't know how he's hearing him yell for help, but he is. And he goes to where he's hearing the voice from, and turns out that he's already dead. He's been consumed by the demon that kidnapped him. And Akira kills the demon in one punch. Literally, it wasn't even a fight. So unfortunately, Guy with Braids is dead. R.I.P. Guy with Braids, we hardly knew ya. But it's around this time, I can't exactly remember, that at school, Miko is sitting in some class, I don't know. And Miki, who apparently had dropped out of school during this time, shows up to say hi to Miko. When Miko goes to ask her questions such as, where have you been? What happened? Miko just starts to leave, which doesn't make any sense. She showed up to school, which she doesn't go to anymore, to say hi to somebody and then just leave. That just doesn't make any sense to me. I've never walked somewhere with the sole intention of just saying hi to somebody, not talking to them, just coming up and saying hi and then leaving. Like, I don't think humans interact that way. I don't typically go to a store that I know that somebody's going to be at just to go, sup, and then walk out the store. Don't pursue conversation past hello. That makes no sense to me. That sounds like the plot is just trying to move forward, because immediately after she's being accosted by the bullies from before, and it is revealed that she is also a demon as she shoots acid out of her arm. But then she skedaddles out of school, and then we see her at some apartments, which oddly look like the apartments from Ichi the Killer. And there's a little boy there who, when he gets back to his apartment, his parents are demons and they're trying to kill him. But Miki comes in and saves him, and they decide to stick together on the run from then on. Until, of course, they get caught by the police, because at this point the police are starting to catch wind about these demons and have decided that they are going to crack down on them by trying to imprison them. They're not immediately going to killing them, trying to, just arrest them into some super prison, something like that, I don't know. And that's where they're at. So anyways, Akira comes back home through the balcony, and waiting there for him is his own sister in his bedroom, where then they begin to suck fucking faces. This is fucking disgusting. I think this is the weirdest thing this movie has. The fact that they just begin to suck faces. May I remind you, they are brother and sister. Regardless of if adopted or not, they are brother and sister. And no one brings it up as being weird. No one brings it up as, maybe that's questionable. Hey man, why are you kissing your sister? Later on, her parents don't even have a problem with this. I'm sorry, their parents don't have a problem with this. They see them fucking kiss full on, and they don't even react like, hey, what was that about? You guys shouldn't be doing that. That's kind of weird. Sure, they have other problems at that time, but I think that it would still be brought up as a, hey, why did you just kiss your brother on the lips? But yeah, moving on. The next day, Miko becomes concerned about Miki as she ran off, and the police are cracking down on these demons, so she wants to go find her friend. And so she does this, but she wants Akira to come with her. And after looking in one location, they decide to give up and go to a church. It's at this church that we find out that Miko is religious. Interesting, considering she, not too long ago, kissed her brother on the lips. And in this church is now talking about how she wants to start a family with the person who is her brother. You fucking disgusting degenerates, I swear to God. Moving on, later that day, Ryo shows up at Akira's house to ask him if he wants to come out with him. And he does. And Ryo has brought Akira to some mansion, and he's brought guns. Where he got these guns, who knows? And Akira doesn't ask him about them. He just has them. And Akira is asked if he wants to go and shoot things. I don't know. And of course, Akira backs out of whatever plan Ryo has, as it clearly involves murder. And Ryo just says, all right, pussy, whatever, and runs in. And it's while he's running in that a demon refers to him as Satan, something that Akira clearly hears and decides to do nothing about. Just finding out that your best friend is Satan. And as Ryo's running in, he's killing a bunch of police officers. Not the demons who are attacking innocent people. No, the police officers. Once again, Akira does nothing about this. Who knows why? He did say that he vowed to protect humanity. Yet here he is, blatantly letting his best friend murder humans. It's pretty cool. Maybe stop that guy. The next day, Akira is out with his father at the fields. Who knows why? He just decides to go and help his dad at his job, and it's there that his father finds out that he's a demon. And then Akira moans for the first time in this movie because he's never done it before. So interesting that now is the only time you decide to moan in pain, pleasure, I don't know. But he does it. But his father basically says, it's all right. You know, I know you're a good kid, except for the fact that you're fucking your own sister. Your secret's safe with us. And it's on their way back home that we see police officers, or, well, demons dressed up as police officers, killing innocent civilians. They even have snipers, which Akira goes to try to stop. And it turns out that the sniper is Ryo. Now, perfect opportunity. Does Akira stop Ryo, the person he knows is Satan, who he literally just saw sniping innocent civilians on the street? No, he lets him walk away. Hey, I'm sorry to let you know this, Akira, but your best friend is Satan. You know, you vowed to protect humanity. You would think that this guy who is literally leading the demons, you'd think that you would try to stop him if you want to save humanity. I know he's like your best friend and all that, and hey, yeah, whatever. But he's a psychopath. You already know this. And he's already started to kill civilians. Maybe stop that guy. Maybe stop him. I mean, you have the ability. You've already killed 2 demons. Maybe do that. You know, prevent any more innocent people from dying. No? Alright, cool. So anyways, after this, Miki and the little boy escape the super prison somehow. We never see. We just see the fact that they have escaped, which information that we find out later on what they do to these demons makes no sense on how they escaped. But sure, they escaped. And they make it to Akira's house because they know where that is. And while they're at Akira's house, the little peeper from across the street sees this and reports it to the police. But before the police show up, Miki and the little boy are already out there running out so that way the police doesn't catch them. Unfortunately, the police still threaten Akira and his family. Now, it's during this that Akira believes that the best solution to this problem is revealing that he is in fact a demon. To protect his family, he will sacrifice himself. And he kisses his sister in front of his own family. Fucking disgusting. And he's taken into custody where he is shot to death. See why it doesn't really make sense how the other 2 escaped the police if this is what they're doing. But sure, they escaped, and Akira is dead. But the neighborhood is in a bit of an uproar, as they heard that this house has demons in it, and they decide to break in. Even though the police have gone and already gathered the demons, they don't care, they're gonna break in anyways. And the stalker is trying to stop them from breaking in. I thought he would have been the first person to do some weird, gross sex pest stuff with Miko. I mean, it does seem like that's kind of what they're building to, but no, he's trying to stop the horde of people, but it doesn't work because the horde just breaks in anyways and kills Akira's mother, father, and Miko. Moving on to Miki and the little boy, they are running away from the police, and she finds out that she has mystical butterfly wings as well as shooting acid out of her arm. Akira wakes up from his slumber, that being death, and he decides to make his way back home. And when he arrives back at home, he discovers the destruction of this house with his mother and father being dead and his sister/lover having her head removed from her body. And he takes her head to the same church that we were at before, and he places her head on a pedestal, which is very weird, and I don't know why he does it. But sure, whatever. And then Ryo shows up. They talk a bit, and then they fight. The fight, of course, is completely in CGI and is really fucking boring, except for how it ends, which is they both hit each other at the same time, essentially killing each other. And then we cut to Miki and the little boy, who are the only people left alive, and they zoom out and then roll credits. That's the movie. Did it sound great? Did it sound boring? Did it sound like shit? Because it was shit. It was shit watching it. I felt awful, mainly due to the massive amounts of incest related things in this movie. but also just things not making any sense. It was hard to watch this movie and not kind of tear it apart almost. So that was Devilman, a movie that is not very good. Now, of course, you don't need me to tell you it's bad. This movie is notoriously a bad movie. Something I didn't know until after I watched this movie. As when you look up stuff about the movie, you get little fun facts about how this is one of the worst Japanese movies of all time. Now, this doesn't just mean bad movies as far as live action manga movies or anime movies. I mean, those are always bad. This isn't just bad on that terms. This is bad on Japanese movies, as in all of them completely. Like, if we're talking about other Toei movies like Godzilla, Ring, this is one of the worst movies. And I can see why it's been voted that, because this is the worst movie I've watched in a long time, especially Japanese movies. A lot of inconsistency in this movie, a lot of things that are brought in and then disappear, a lot of things that just don't really make a whole lot of sense. I mean, look at the angel woman. She shows up, beats Akira's ass, and then leaves. Or some characters are introduced as having some sort of prior relationship with these people, or having a relationship with these people, only for something to happen to them where they either die or they just are gone, and we just are kind of left there as, okay, I don't care about this person. And the reason why it seems like this is happening and why it is happening is because they're trying to shove an entire series into one movie, rather than making a movie based on a specific arc or a finale to a series or anything like that, or just taking the universe and making a standalone movie based on that. No, they decided to put the entire series into one movie and try to make it make sense. And of course, it doesn't. The fact that a lot of these characters, we don't even feel anything for these characters because we're just running through. Now, I don't know if the series, like the anime or the manga, are any different, but as far as what I've been able to see from this, Akira doesn't really seem like an interesting character at all. He just becomes Devilman and is just kind of, that's his character. He's just Devilman. He's not got any defining features about himself other than he wants to protect humanity, which he fails in doing. He royally fails. Almost all the humans are dead, like completely. You failed. Like, he comes out and reveals himself to be a demon to protect his family, which only gets them killed. Congratulations, my guy. You're pretty bad at, saving people. He had multiple opportunities to stop the whole thing from happening. Okay? Stop humanity from dying out. Stop all the demons. He could have just beaten Rio multiple times, and he didn't. He chose not to because he's friends with him, which I get. But this movie never really made them feel like they were friends because they barely hung out. And anytime they would hang out, they would just be arguing, or at least be constantly disagreeing on things. Which it's like, I don't know if these guys are actually friends or they're just people that hang out sometimes. But I'm sure the series, like the manga and stuff like that, actually delves more into why these people are close and how these people are close. Because otherwise, we're just kind of told people are close and that's it, and then they just move on. Like, for instance, guy with braids is introduced. Hey, I used to bully him, but now we're friends. And then he just dies immediately. But we're supposed to act like it's a big moment. Yeah, it might be a big moment for the character, but it's not a big moment for us. We barely even know the guy. And that's kind of the same thing with everything in this movie. Things are treated like big moments or big things or big people. And to us, because we're just being introduced to this stuff and then we're given no elaboration on anything, when they go away, we don't give a shit. And that's exactly how this movie is going to go for me. As soon as this video is done, this movie is going to disappear and I'm not going to care about it ever again because I want to stop talking about this movie. This is my third attempt at making this video. And hopefully I won't need to talk about it anymore. This movie's fucking awful. Makes no sense. It gets me heated when I talk about it. At least for now. I'm sure later on I won't be. But there's just so many things I could talk about. I just want to get the main things off my chest and out of my head so that way I can never think about this movie ever again. That's the end of the video. So if you have any recommendations for movies that you would like to see me talk about or watch, go ahead and put it down in the comments, or don't. I don't care. But yeah, that's it. Bye.
Fucking degenerate.